Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. This is Michaela and I'm going to do today with you a new pattern which I'm going to use for my newest pole dance collection, but actually this pattern can be also used as a normal sporty top. It's such an easy project and so cute, so beautiful. Great if you want to add a little different taste to your design. So I've got here the parts already cut. This is what is going to be my front piece, right? So it's duo, and I'm using this great beautiful leopard mixed with this sherry top, so pretty. And I've got here, this is my back piece, and I've got the lining cut, the main fabric cut, and this is my lining for my front piece cut. I've done already my straps as I wanted to simplify my work, right? As you know, I did make a video on how to do spaghetti straps. I did actually these straps with my binding attachment, and I've got here the underbust band as well already prepared. I've already stitched it because I got mixed up with the band of the bottoms, but actually I practically just stitched the sides and I folded like you've seen it. I folded like that in two, and I did already the bust stitching in order to attach it to the top, right? So actually first thing I'm going to do is actually placing the so I will be placing, well, you will have to mirror everything. I will show you one side and then you will do the other side mirrored. So I'm placing the leopard on top of my let's call it cherry fabric, right? Dark cherry, I don't know how you want to call it, grenadine fabric. And I'm going to pin like that. I think pinning is really so important in such projects, as you need to definitely follow the curves right away. Yes, my kitties are supporting me as well. So I'm matching the right sides of the fabric together, and I will be pinning first, and then I will be doing a bust stitch. Bust stitch is actually just a straight stitch with the highest stitch length, and it's just meant to keep practically the fabrics together from not to be slippery when you are attaching them with the serger. Hi my love. I'm just going to try to work around her. So yes, I'm going to, before serging it, I'm going to use my my bust stitching. Like I said, it's on the highest stitch length, right? And I actually even if I pinned it on the other side, I actually prefer to stitch on the foiled fabric. Why? Because this has kind of like a less stretch than the lycra, right? And I don't want it to come uneven perhaps. So I want to make sure that I'm guiding it very good. So as you can see, I'm going quite close to the edge, obviously, because I want my my serge stitch to cover everything, meaning to cover this bust stitch. And yeah, you'll notice I'm going quite slow because I don't want to I don't want to get my fabrics unaligned, right? It's a little curve, right? And it's really important to stay in the line. End up doing these little cuts into the stitch. Why? To allow stretch to my fabric afterwards. And now I'm going to the to the serger right away, and I place it under the serger. So if you don't have a serger, you can always use a zigzag stitch. Gives pretty much the same effect, perhaps a little less professional, but overall it does allow stretch. And here I'm going to cut this little stitch because my sew machine got it uneven. So I'm just gonna go quickly again under. All right. So as you've seen, I actually did first bust stitching, and then I did the serging. Now I'll be doing the same thing on the other side. Once I'm done, I'll come to show you the next step. Okay, so I've got already my both sides stitched, and I did a nice cover stitch over in order to lay flat my seam, right? So next thing, what I'm going to do, I have here my lining, and I'm going to place my main fabric on top of my lining, facing right sides of the fabric together, and I am going to pin on the underarm area and all over the neck area, on the both underarm areas. I'm going to pin and the same, I am going to do a bust stitch like before, and then I'm going to serge adding elastic. So this time I will be adding elastic when I'm serging, and I'm using rubber elastic, but if you don't have rubber elastic, I recommend just any other elastic, and it's actually optional. I know I know a lot of you asking me whether it's obligatory. I do prefer it for a better support, for a better look of the top, right? It's elastic actually avoids overstretching of the fabric, right? So I'm always using a rubber elastic, and actually this is kind of like a reversible technique, so you can use it to make your top reversible, but in my case I actually do not want to use it reversible, and I don't want my my lining to be seen. So what I'm going to do after, I'm going to do a zigzag stitch over my stitch, so it will be actually just here right in the center, so the stitch won't roll down. In the same time, I'm going to prepare my back piece as well, and I am going to pin just the upper part of the top. And I actually forgot to mark, but I will be marking where my straps will go. I am going to use I'm going to add adjustable straps, as I know that, well, not everybody wants to have fixed straps. I will be nevertheless giving the measurements for fixed straps or adjustable straps. But yes, in my case, this time I will be using adjustable straps. So I will be showing you as well how I'm adding the adjustable straps in case you would like to know. But you will need a ring and a slider, well, 2 rings, 2 sliders for the adjustable straps. Nevertheless, we will continue with the construction of the top. So I am going to show you how I'm actually adding elastic. So I'm doing first the bust stitching, and I'm going to add the elastic so you can see it. It's actually nothing special. I do have an elastic guide, and you know, I'm so happy I'm deciding to do bust stitching. I usually do it almost all the time, but in this specific for this specific fabric, actually I feel like they're very slippery together, so very much needed. And there is like another information that I want to share. So in the case that you actually want to do a top stitch over so your fabric is not rolling, I actually do it even sometimes when I'm actually doing reversible when I'm doing reversible swimwear in general. I actually do this top stitch sometimes as a zigzag stitch. It's so useful, like that the fabric is not rolling and sides are not visual, right? So whenever I'm doing a top stitching, when I'm adding elastic, I am actually going to slightly pull the elastic a little bit. So I'm using the word slightly. There is no percentage. I don't have a specific percentage of how much I'm pulling. I'm feeling it with my hand, right? I want the fabric to kind of crease a little bit, not too much, right? And why is this? Because when you're doing the top stitching, if you do not pull the fabric a little bit, it might wave. Your final look might look wavy. In practice, actually doesn't really matter, but it could be that it gets too wavy and then looks a bit strange by wearing it. Normally lycra should adjust perfectly on the skin, so even laying flat, looking wavy, should actually look good on the skin, but nevertheless, why taking the risk? It's a lot of work anyway. So yes, this is a little detail I wanted to share it with you. Perhaps I did already informed in another videos, but I just wanted to show it to you. So for this part of the underarm, I'm not going to do the top stitch. The only place where I'm going to do the top stitch is actually just in the chest area, right? So for the moment, I'm not using my my elastic guider. Why? Because I'm actually guiding it with my hand in order to slightly pull it, like I said to you. So it's not a lot of pulling, right? It's just feeling it a little bit between my fingers. Okay, now this is the last bit. Before I continue with the top, I hope you can perhaps see the little creasing. It's just tiny bit, like only very, very little, but it does help when you're doing the top stitching. So before I'm continuing with the front piece, because anyways I will have to stitch the the straps. Well, actually I will do this right now. I didn't measure it yet, but I am going to do a quick measuring. So I'm going to cut them like that in two, and actually this is going to be so much easy. So now I'm going to introduce my strap into my top like this. I did have a safety pin one moment in my life. I've lost it somehow and I need to get another one, but until that day I will just push it with my finger, and I'm going to use the help of my loop turner to scoop it out. Okay, so to add the strap, I'm actually going to do just a straight stitch over the strap, and I'm reducing my stitch lengths to about 3. I'm going back and forth a few times, and I am going to trim the excess and repeat the same thing on the other side, introducing the strap. I'm just checking whether the inside. Okay, here we go. That's that. Okay, now I'm going to continue off camera with the back, and I'm going to mark the places where I'm going to introduce my my strap, and I'm going to show you how I will do this. Once I'm done with this stitch, I come back to show you the next step. Okay, so I have my I have already my back part as well sewn in, right? And what I'm going to do, I did mark over here where I'm going to introduce the strap. So I'm going to do a tiny bit of rib stitch ripping. Right, and I've prepared, as you can see already also on my table, I have my my rings and my sliders, right? And I would show you right now how I will work that bit. Okay, so I've got here prepared. I'm just going to remove this part of the bust stitching as well. So the holes are prepared. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut a little bit of the strap over here, which I have left over. So I've got here prepared. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut a little bit of the strap over here, which I have left over. So I'm going to cut a little bit of the strap over here, which I have left over. So I've got here prepared. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut a little bit of the strap over here, which I have left over. just tiny bit in order to introduce the ring through it, like that. So on each side. And I wanted to show you, I do show it a lot in my videos. This is a hum jumper in case your sewing machine struggles with like thicker layers. It's always really great for I'm going to give another try. I'm searching my safety pin. Yes, I found it. Sorry. Okay, so I'm using now my safety pin to introduce the little strap through. So I just introduce it like this, right? And I get the top out, and now I'm going to place it under my sewing machine. And you'll have to be very careful that you're not stitching through the ring, right? So if your sewing machine struggles with, let's say, thicker layers, what you do, you place this hum jumper under your foot, right? And then you're placing, this time is quite difficult, but you're placing it under like this, right? And I think I should use the thinner part, right? And then you lower your foot. I'm going to reduce my stitch length. I've got here my threads, and you just go over like this. And as you can see, kind of the hum jumper is being pushed by the foot of your machine, right? And now I'm going over one more time in order to secure well this stitch. So usually my sewing machine is quite good, but I feel like it's struggling a little bit over this thicker bit, right? So I'll be doing this bit off camera, but I wanted to show you already also the next step. And the next step will be actually getting the sides together. The top, you can actually turn it on the right side of the fabric, right? And I am going to show you afterwards the little zigzag stitch. I'm just going to change the colors of my threads, but I wanted to show you how I am going to stitch the sides. So I'm placing the back piece with the right sides together, facing together. You can really see it very good, and I want to make sure that I'm really matching my center seam, right, my middle seam. And I'm not sure I have enough thread. I'm going to give it a try. I'll do a straight stitch first, right, bust stitch, because I want to my center seam to really match. So this technique is actually the one which has been working the best for me to match perfectly my seam. But if you do have another one, I recommend you to use your own technique. Yeah, my under thread is finished. Yes, I didn't match perfectly. Yes, I will have to rethread. I'll be back in a moment. Okay, so I've rethreaded again, and I've unstitched a little bit in order to guide again the seam in order to match perfectly my seams over there. So I'm going to go once over And this time I'm going to pay more careful, more attention to my seam. I feel like my fabric is feeling a little bit too much from underneath. And it's still not matching quite perfect, so I will be giving one more try off camera because I'm such a perfectionist. But I'll be doing it off camera. I just wanted to show you. After, once I've matched it, I go ahead and I will be serging it with my serger. Once I'm done, I'll come back and I'll show you the next step. We're almost done. Okay, so I have my sides already stitched, and like I said, I'm quite perfectionist, so I did go ahead one more time and I did stitch it good. And now I'm actually going to do the zigzag stitch I've been telling you about, right? So I'm setting my sewing machine on the zigzag with about a 3 perhaps. That's working good for me. I did just one front, one back stitch. And now I'm just going over. And I'm actually going to zigzag stitch as well the sides, because I see that it's kind of like poking a little bit as well, and I want to avoid that. It was quite difficult to decide for a lining fabric since I'm using such a contrasting fabrics, actually, you know, the cherry and the leopard. And because the cherry has well, such a intense color, and the leopard has a little bit of white, was not easy to decide which lining, but that will be actually just perfect. So I'm going to do the other side as well. This foiled fabric has a little less stretch than normal lycra, so it's a great idea to do the top stitching for this part. Otherwise, the lining will be poking. Okay, so as you can see, I have here my two little rings, right? And I'm going to show you right now how I'm going to proceed with introducing the slider. So I'm introducing the slider like this, and I leave it a little bit undone here, and then I am going to go through the ring. And here you have to pay attention, so I'm going to turn it the other side so you can see it better. So I went through the ring, right? This is like it normally look, right? But I will have to undone it like this, and then I bring this piece back underneath through the slider once again. And I'm sorry, I only know how to put it with my teeth. And now I go it through the slider one more time, like that. And this bit I am going to stitch it. So it's important that you make like enough space, right, for you, that it doesn't bother you, this this bit, right? And I'm going to have to use another color thread. But yes, I am going to place it underneath like this. I'm going to be using my hem jumper if needed, most likely yes, but I'm going to do a straight stitch back and forth, but I don't want to use with the white thread. So I'm going to change this, I'm going to thread it, and then once I'm done I come back to show you the next step. Okay, so I did already the other side, but I nevertheless wanted to show you. It's really so easy, but I'm honest with you, I actually didn't use the hem jumper, although I almost lost a finger as I was holding it a little too close. My sewing machine is really friendly with thicker fabrics, thicker layers, so I'm really happy about that. I do have a Singer heavy duty, and it's actually really useful for thicker layers. Okay, I've got here my my top almost ready. I'm going to continue now with the underbust band, and I'm going to use actually the same thread. So I take the elastic band. By the way, I've got the elastic band the same practically the same measurement as my lycra, right? And I do use a lot elastic bands into my fabrics, into my designs. It's really mainly for a better support, and it's for to look more professional. So I place this elastic, I place it into my elastic band, right, into my waist underbust band, sorry, and then I place it like this underneath. I really start always right where the the stitch is, because I want the stitch always to match perfectly. And now I do a bust stitching. I do a bust stitching, and I make sure that I'm not stitching over my elastic, right? So I'm feeling it practically with my finger that the elastic is in the back. And this is actually helping just to maintain the two layers of fabric together for when we are attaching it to the top. Otherwise it would be actually quite difficult, I'm honest with you. So yes, I am doing this bust stitching. I'm going to continue it off camera, and I will be doing another bust stitching to my top to secure the two layers of fabric over here. Once I'm done, I'll come back to show you next step. Okay, estamos. We are ready, sorry. We're ready to do the last step, and this would be attaching the underbust band. And I've got here the underbust band ready. I've done the bust stitching all around, so I'm actually just going to go ahead and place the underbust band on top of my top, and I'm going to my serger, and I'm going ahead and I'm going to serge it. So usually the underbust band is slightly smaller than your top, so you'll have to pull it a little bit whilst you're stitching, but only tiny bit, right? So you don't want to be over pulling. So the top is ready. Look how beautiful this combination. I will go ahead and I will do a top stitch with my cover stitch, but overall I'm so happy. These are the bottoms I've made for it. It's a modification of another bottoms I've did before, but yes, overall I'm really looking forward for the shooting. If you have any questions, please let me know. If not, happy sewing.